Welcome my dear viewers to another Know It Show video. Now the jobs during the 1800s were very physically demanding, such as mining, construction work, and so on and so forth. They had a problem, a very big problem. That problem was that their pants would fall apart. Because of this problem, two people entered the chat, Jacob Davis and Levi Strauss. They came into the chat to save the day. How did they save the day, you might ask? To understand how they saved the day, we need to learn more about who they really are. To start, we need to go into the history of Levi Strauss. Levi was born in Butenheim, Bavaria on February 26, 1829, to his father Hirsch Strauss and his second wife Rebecca Strauss. Hirsch and Rebecca had 2 children together, but he also had 5 children from his first marriage to Mathilde Bussmann Strauss, who sadly passed away in 1822. In 1846, Levi turned 16 years old and his father sadly passed away. 2 years later, Levi, his mother, and his sisters moved to the United States, specifically New York. Out of all the states in America, why did they choose New York? Well, they chose New York because their 2 brothers, Jonas and Louis Strauss, actually lived there. And they also made a wholesale dry goods business there, which was named J. Strauss Brother & Co. Because they had a business there, Levi started to work with them. And he started to learn more about how to sell things. He stayed working with his brothers until the 1848 California Gold Rush happened. You see, the California Gold Rush actually led many to travel out west to seek fortune for themselves and their families. So in early 1853, Levi left New York and he went out to seek fortune in California. But he didn't want to mine gold. He wanted to sell things like what he did in New York. So he made his own wholesale dry goods company there, as well as acting as his brother's West Coast agent. And he also started to sell fabric and other items to small shops there. This helped him a lot because he started meeting new people and interacting with businesses. Who do you guess was one of Levi's customers? Yes, you guessed it, it was Jacob Davis, a tailor from Reno, Nevada. So let's take a detour and find out who Jacob Davis really was. Jacob was born in a city called Riga in a country named Latvia in 1831. Now he later did change his name to Jacob Davis, but at that time he was named Jacob Eufus. Little is actually known about how he lived his life in La Vita. However, he did move to the United States at the age of 23 years old, specifically New York. He did start his tailoring business in New York, however, he did like to move. So in a couple of years, he moved to San Francisco, and then in 1858, he moved to the great country of Canada. It was in Canada where he met his wife Annie Parker, who was also an immigrant, however she was a German immigrant, and made a great family. After 9 years of living in Canada, he moved back to San Francisco. But this time with his family, he was not single. Well, I guess someone hated the snow. Get it? San Francisco, snow. I just like rhyming, what can I say? Anyways, he did move to Virginia City in Nevada after a couple of years. However, before starting his tailoring business in Nevada, he was actually selling pork and tobacco to that region. But when he did start his tailoring company, he actually started selling wagon covers, tents, and horse blankets for the rail workers at that region. Now, he had to get fabric. And where did he get fabric from? He got it from none other than Levi Strauss. Now that we are caught up, we can start the history of how Levi's was made and how they changed the world of pants. But before I continue, let me just get something to eat real quick. So, see you in a little. So around 1872, Levi got a letter from one of his customers. Who do you guess sent that letter? Come on, I'll give you time. Yes, you are right. It was Jacob Davis. Now in that letter, Jacob actually explained how he reinforced his pants for his customer. Now let's just talk about that for a second. You see, one day a woman came into Jacob's store and asked him, "My husband's pants keep falling apart and I don't know what to do. I don't want to buy him more pants and I don't want to sew it every single day." And Jacob said, "I will find a way to reinforce your husband's pants." And so the woman was happy and she said, "Okay, when you get me the pants, I'll come and pay you any price you want." Yay! That was horrible acting, I know. And I'm not sorry. So Jacob spent days in and days out studying how he can reinforce these pants. And he did this by adding rivets to the weakest parts of the pants. And so Jacob tested it out and it was perfect. It wouldn't rip, it would be more stable and more secure. And Jacob went to this lady and said, "Hey, I fixed it. I want $3,000. And she said, "Yes, I'll pay you whatever you want. Not $3,000, but I'll pay you whatever you want. Thank you." And she went off saying, "Yay!" Again. That was horrible acting. But hey, what can you do, right? But I think you understood the points that I was trying to make. And if you didn't, I'll simplify it right now. He added rivets to the weak points of the pants. Don't mind my bad acting. You know what? It was actually great acting. I think I should win an Oscar for that. That would be nice, actually. So let us just get back on track. You see, the letter that Jacob sent to Levi disclosed information about how he secured his pants and how he wanted to patent the idea. However, he did need a business partner for this idea. And so he went to the one and only Levi Strauss. He was excited. Who wouldn't be excited? You just got an innovative product handed to you on a golden plate. And Levi said to Jacob, I will help you. So fast forward to May 20th, 1873, Levi and Jacob acquired their patent. And because of this, the blue jeans were made. Or as what Levi would say, waist overalls. Can you imagine walking into a store and going and asking for waist overalls? Like, howdy brother, I want myself some waist overall. Sir, we don't have waist overalls. And you'd be like, well, how don't you? I'm wearing them right now. Those are called pants, sir. They're called pants. No, sir, it is not. Because according to Levi Strauss, these are called waist overalls. Well, of course, sir, we do have waist overalls or pants. And then you go, oh yeah, I'm getting myself some waist overalls. Honestly, to say the truth, that was amazing. I love that acting. And you should too. Because you should drop a like and nominate me for the Oscars. I should win the Oscars. I should. I'm sorry, we're taking so many detours. Let's just get back into the story. Now that we're back, Levi loved the idea of these pants to the point where he was actually making them out of his house. And then as the company grew, of course, he made his own factory and started selling it from there. Now, the first iterations of the Levi's pants, they were made out of a heavy canvas and it was very hard to wear. And so Jacob and Levi made the idea to start using denim. And it just changed the world, really. Well, at the time, it wasn't really the world, but it is the world now. So is it considered the world? That's very complicated. Now I'm going off topic again. Yay. Now that we're back on the line to the story, not for long of course, we can talk about why they dyed the pants blue. They actually did this because they reportedly hid stains on the pants and workers needed to hide those things. You see, Levi wasn't your ordinary person. He didn't stay and stick to Levi's. He actually went out and did multiple other things. You see, in 1877, Levi became the treasurer of the San Francisco Board of Trade. And he also became the director of the Nevada Bank and so many other things. He just accomplished everything he wanted and did whatever he felt like doing. And he achieved every single goal he dreamed of. I know you're probably dreaming of something, so if you are, do it. And firstly, subscribe to the channel because it is the start of all your dreams, right? I hope so. However, sadly, on Friday, September 26, 1902, Levi Strauss passed away at the age of 73 years old. His estate was around $6 million, which he left for his 4 nephews and other family members, but also he donated a lot of it to associations and funds in that region. But can you imagine $6 million at that time? 1902. He really was a very hard worker. He left the company to the ownership of his 4 nephews, Jacob, Sigmund, Louis, and Abraham Stern, who were the sons of his sister Fanny and her husband David Stern. Fast forward to 1908, and the last founding father of the Levi pants passed away at the age of 77 years old. And so now Levi is without its core members, which was Levi and Jacob. However, they did leave an amazing team, an amazing family to grow it into what it is today. Prior to the 1940s, Levi's was very focused on the West, and most of their customers were from the West, and so they didn't really need to focus on overseas products as much. That is until World War II happened and Levi sent their first ever overseas package to the US military exchange in the Pacific and Europe. This was just the start of them taking over the world. During World War II, the supply costs were very high, and so Levi's wanted to keep their pants affordable for the everyday man and women. And how did they do this, you might ask? Well, actually, they started cutting corners with their pants. It wasn't that they cut quality down, it was that they cut the unnecessary amounts of stuff they had on their pants and jackets at that time. As an example, the stitching on the back pockets of their pants wasn't really necessary, and so what they did was they removed it. But now people are going to get confused whether this is Levi's and whether it's not, and so Levi started painting every single stitch stitch by hand on every single pants. And so they started doing all these things to start lowering the costs of these pants to make the pants still affordable. And that was a great thing from them. It really was. Now, I can't speak about Levi's without talking about their iconic logo. No, I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one. You see the one behind me this whole video, and I'm gonna pop it up right here somewhere. That logo was very iconic and had a lot of meaning to it. You see, they had two horses pulling on the pants to prove to the people that these pants were very durable and they would stand everything you put to them. And that was also true. Their message with this logo is that we sell quality, durable pants and items for the everyday person. And that message was very clear from the pants. And when you look at what the Levi brand really was, it all started from one man trying to secure his pants by adding rivets to the weak points. And you can do the same thing with the Know It Show. And how can we secure our relationship with the Know It Show, you might ask? Well, actually, you can watch the past Know It Show videos, watch the future Know It Show videos, take a look at the description, and add a rivet on the subscribe button. All this talking about Levi's made me want to go to the Levi store, not to buy the pants, but to say, I know the history of this company. And now you can too.